What is up, everybody? It's Copes here, and today I am back with another Fortnite video. In today's video, I'm going over the most overpowered weapons and items that have came out throughout the seasons. Some of these weapons have been vaulted, and some of these weapons are still in the game as of right now. But we're going to be talking about them in this video. Tell me what you guys think are the most overpowered items to ever come out inside of Fortnite. Guys, I really am sorry to say this, but if you guys do not use code COBESMIND in the item shop, the FBI will hunt you down, get in contact with your aunt, and steal her dog. So in Season 1, I really do believe the only thing you can give it to, there are a bunch of items out there that you could give it to possibly, but I feel like in Season 1, the Zapatron was easily the most overpowered weapon to ever exist inside this game. I would really like to see the Zapatron in the game as of right now, just to see how good players would be with it. Keep it in the game for like a week and maybe the unvaulted LTM and just see how good it actually is. Because even when players were honestly just terrible in Season 1, this weapon was still so overpowered. If you got it, you would most likely win the game if you had any semblance of intelligence. The Zapatron was one of those weapons that even when you did play back in Season 1, if you did, it doesn't guarantee that you got this weapon. This weapon was very hard to come by, and when you got it, you knew you had something special. I played back in Season 1 and I never got killed by the Zapatron. I never saw the Zapatron. It was only in Fortnite for a few days, guys. In Season 2, we had two different items that were insanely OP. I would say the Boogey Bomb, the first item, is even more OP than the Minigun. Let me talk about it. If you guys did not know, when the Boogey Bomb first came into this game, you could throw it on someone and they would dance for about 15 seconds. Let's say you shoot them like you do now. Would they go out of the dance effect? No, they would stay in there for 15 seconds regardless of if they were getting sprayed by a scar, if they were getting shotgun point blank, if they were getting RPG'd. There was no way to get out of it except to wait those 15 seconds. That is so stupidly overpowered. I can't believe people don't talk about this one a little bit more. I still think, even as of right now in Season 7, the Boogey Bomb is a viable option, and I would say still, Epic Games, take this out of the game. We don't need it. It's one of those deaths that just doesn't feel right. It's sort of like getting C4'd. It's sort of like getting turreted or infinity bladed. It's just a death that doesn't really it doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel like, hey, I had a chance there. And that's why I like playing Fortnite. It feels like I always have somewhat of a chance. But the Boogey Bomb back in Season 2 was insanely broken. I would say as of Season 7, you know, whatever. I guess I'll die to it every once in a while. Also, the Minigun, one of the most overpowered weapons in Season 2, I would say it definitely decreased in value as the seasons progressed, and in Season 7 it did get a little buff, and I do think it is a viable option. I don't think it is OP unless you're running into a squad who's using it, or let's say you're running into a decent squad, one person has it, then you know you're definitely gonna have trouble, you're most likely gonna die. There's just no other way to really defend against the minigun if you have other people spraying at you as well. But I would say, guys, the minigun in Season 2, it was just a different type of weapon. You know, not as many people knew how to build to perfection like they do now, and most people would just try to spam build their way away from the minigun, and that really wouldn't work. You could spray this thing endlessly with no cooldown timer, and you would be screwed. You really would be. I feel like people had a harder time countering it back in Season 2, and it was just insanely OP. In Season 3, we got two different items that weren't OP in Season 3, but they became OP as the seasons progressed. I have to talk about the Deagle first. I do believe the Deagle is one of the most broken weapons in this game as of right now. It's basically a wall deleter. That's what I like to call this weapon. The Deagle is the wall deleter. If you guys don't call it that, then you need to call it that. Come on, guys. And use code COBESMIND in the item shop. But guys, as of right now, I really do feel like the Deagle is one of those cheap weapons that when you go up against it, you're like, oh my god, I have to deal with this guy now. I love this weapon. I hate going up against it. I really don't feel like I need to explain it because it's so prevalent in this game as of right now. So screw it, I'm not going to talk any more about it. You guys know, the Deagle, it wasn't OP when it first came out. It was sort of like a buffed revolver in most people's minds, or maybe even a nerfed revolver because it shot so slowly. But regardless, it was a very similar weapon to the revolver, and as of right now, it's stupid broken. In Season 3, we also got the C4 that wasn't amazing in Season 3, but as the seasons progressed and it got buffed, it was one of the most broken items in this game. It was one of those items that if you got like 10 of them, even if you got 6 of them, you were guaranteed to carry them. No one would drop these items. If you did not have a brain. You would throw maybe 3-4 of these at an opponent and they would be dead. It literally, like, you think the Deagle is a wall deleter. The C4 was the definition of a wall deleter, of a ramp deleter, of a floor deleter. This thing deleted tilted towers within seconds. Do you guys remember? If you know tilted towers, the apartments, you could throw like 3 of these at that huge building and take it all down within seconds. Let's say they spawned on the bottom and you landed down there, there's people up top, you could blow up that whole building and get like 7 kills just from people falling to their deaths. It was honestly a funny item to go up against, funny item to use, but come on guys, we're glad it's vaulted. As an honorable mention in Season 3, because it was overpowered for a time and that's why it was vaulted, the Clingers, you guys know them, you hate them as much as me. In Season 4, we got the Jetpack and the Drum Gun. The Jetpack was one of those items that I just hate going up against. It's sort of like balloons, but balloons on steroids times 1,000. Because with balloons, at least you could try to shoot out the balloons if someone's way high up in the sky. With the Jetpack, someone could fall at like 1,000 miles an hour and there's no way you would hit them. And then guess what? With one click of one button, right before they hit the ground, well, they would completely cut off all fall damage. It's such an annoying item to go against, and I honestly hated it with a passion. The Drum Gun was one of the most OP items in this game. I would put it at least in top 5 OP items in this game. If you guys put it any higher, I would understand that. But Drum Gun, the spray meta, it was fun, but I hated going up against it, and I feel like so many people can agree. It's one of the most fun weapons to use because it literally deletes people, but you hate going up against it because you don't want to get deleted off the face of Fortnite. In Season 5, we got the Grappler and the Heavy Sniper Rifle. I still do believe the Heavy Sniper Rifle needs to be vaulted. This weapon is dumb. It's dumb to use. You don't have to have any intelligence to use this weapon. You don't have to lead your shots all that much. The bullet travels like at 1,000 miles per hour, hitting the enemy before you can even blink. And it's just no fun. It's no fun to go up against. It's a one shot with someone with minis and full health. I don't think this weapon takes any skill. I believe it should be vaulted. The Grappler is one of those items that now it's gone, I can see how OP it really was. When it was in the game, I was like, it's not too OP. It doesn't really help all that much. But now that it's gone, I'm like, holy crap. How didn't I think the Grappler was OP? But in all honesty, guys, the Grappler, I am glad it's gone. It is one of those items that when I got it, I was so confident that I was going to win the game. And guys, it was OP. It really was. And it should have been vaulted. One more item I do want to mention is the double barrel. The double barrel was very OP for the time. When it first came out, it was OP. Then it got nerfed and it wasn't as OP. And I really feel like they could have kept it in the game when it did get nerfed. I do understand that a lot of people hate this weapon, and to me it is one of my favorite weapons to ever be introduced into this game, and I am very sad that it's gone. But I do understand that it was very OP, especially early game, and back in the day when it first came out, it did like 150 body damage. like without really even trying. You didn't have to have a brain to use this weapon, and you could hit the most insane shots. If you had any patience with this weapon, you would be killing people with 1 to 2 shots every single time. Let's say you hit a nice 150 body shot, you just have to basically tickle them with the other shot or take out a different weapon and spray them down. This weapon, easily one of the most OP, but I would say it was the most fun I've ever had with a weapon. Moving on to Season 6, I had to give it to the quad launcher and the turrets. I feel like the quad launcher was one of those items that was just insanely OP to most people. To me, I kind of see it like that weapon that I'm really good with, but whenever I go up against it, I felt like I could counter it. Like, I wouldn't have too much trouble trying to defend myself against the quad launcher. That's how I feel about the quad launcher, but I guess a lot of people think this is OP, so I thought I would add it on the list. Nonetheless, though, it is very annoying to go against, or at least it was. Moving on to the turrets, guys, if you guys don't remember, when these first came out, there was literally an inch gap. An inch you could shoot someone from. And it would have to be a sniper. It really would, because that was the only gun that had enough precision to guarantee a shot on someone on a turret. Like, if you ran up to someone on with a shotgun on a turret, good luck trying to hit them. You'd have to come up from behind them, but let's say you don't one-shot them. They're gonna turn around and spray you down within seconds. I really feel like as of Season 7, they aren't OP though, and they're fine in the game. Moving on to the Season 7 overpowered items, the Infinity Blade and the planes. I will say, the planes were very annoying to go up against in the beginning of this season, but I feel like as of right now, people really don't ram them into your builds as often as they do. They try to hit you off mountains and stuff, but it really doesn't work like it did back in Season 7 when it first started. So I would say the planes, they're fine as they are right now, but they're going to be taken out of the game, I'm pretty sure in Season 8, so who cares about these items, guys? They're going to be gone anytime, even if you do hate them right now. The Infinity Blade, I mean, this was an item sort of like the Zapatron. When you did get it, you knew you had something special. And come on, guys, I never used this item, but I did see gameplay of it. I was not here at the start of Season 7, so I can't really speak too much about it, but guys, I just know. I've seen gameplay of it. It's funny. Epic Games, you did a good one with this. So tell me in the comment section, guys, what was the most overpowered item and weapon? If I had to give it to an item, oh man, this is tough. Oh, I would say probably the Jetpack, because it seemed like the Jetpack was a little bit more rare than the Grappler was. I would say that's probably the most overpowered item. I would say the most overpowered weapon. My God, this is so hard. The most overpowered weapon. I would have to give it to the Deagle. As of right now, I think it is the most overpowered weapon. Zapatron, I mean, it was only in the game for such a little time that I really don't want to give it to that one. I'll give it to my top 3 for weapons. Zapatron, Deagle, and I would have to give it to the heavy sniper. I do think that weapon is utterly broken, needs to be taken out of the game. But thank you guys so much for watching. Tell me in the comment section what you thought. Do you guys agree, disagree? Do you want me to go over the worst items to ever be introduced by season in Fortnite? I could definitely do that. Thank you guys for watching though. Bye bye, guys.